The most dangerous prisons in Africa. In some places, a prison sentence isn't just punishment, it's a death sentence. Hidden behind rusted gates and guarded by fear, these prisons are where the rules end, and pure survival begins. Welcome to the most dangerous prisons in Africa, where being alive tomorrow is never guaranteed. Africa is home to some of the most overcrowded, underfunded, and violent prisons in the world, each one with its own story, each one a kingdom of chaos. Our first stop, Lagos, Nigeria, Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison, built in 1955 for 1,056 inmates. Today, it holds over 3,000. Former inmate speaks. You sleep with one eye open. If you close both, you may not wake up. You feel me? Food, water, safety. You fight for it all. Food rations are so small that riots have broken out over a cup of gari. Sanitation? Non-existent. There are 2 toilets for hundreds. Diseases like tuberculosis spread like wildfire. Ex-prison guard speaks. We used to bribe the gang leaders to keep the peace. There was no other way. They ran the blocks, not us. Inmates form survival groups, gangs, just to stay alive. Some of these groups are more organized and more brutal than the guards themselves. Pollsmoor, where Nelson Mandela was once held, and where today the numbers gang rules the halls. The 26s handle money. The 27s are enforcers. The 28s? They're the warriors. And if you enter their domain without loyalty, you might not leave at all. Criminologist speaks. Pollsmoor is not just a prison. It's a training ground, a university of crime. Young offenders go in and come out as generals in the underworld. Recruitment isn't optional. You either join or bleed. Former 28's member speaks. I stabbed my cellmate to earn my bones. I didn't want to, but it was him or me. That's the rule. They call it blood in, blood out. Loyalty isn't such. It's carved in skin and proven with steel. If there's one place that embodies the word forgotten, it's Makala Prison. Locals call it the belly of the beast. Once you're in, there's no telling when or if you'll ever get out. Built for 1,500 inmates. Current population? Over 9,000. Many haven't even been convicted. Some have been awaiting trial for over 10 years. Lawyer speaks. We found men held for stealing bread, locked up for over a decade without a single court date. Some have died waiting. In Makala, even hope dies slowly. The weak don't last long. Diseases, starvation, and violence cull the population daily. Former inmate speaks. We drank from the toilet. The guards laughed when we asked for water. The only rule was, don't ask for anything twice. It's a prison in name only. In reality, it's a jungle of suffering. Gang leaders dictate order. Bribes determine everything, from food to life expectancy. An escapee speaks. You pay to live. You pay to sleep. You even pay to breathe. If you can't pay, you become property. And that's when the real horror begins. Torture chambers, human trafficking, and ritual abuse have all been documented. And yet, no one is held accountable. Kaliti Prison, officially a federal facility. Unofficially, a place where human rights are vaporized in the name of silence. Kaliti is infamous for housing political prisoners, journalists, and activists, locked away without due process, often tortured for information or obedience. A detainee speaks. We were packed like animals. No bed, no light. They kept the water off for days. When they did bring it, it smelled like gasoline. They called it the coffin, a room smaller than a closet where prisoners spent 23 hours a day, sometimes for weeks, naked and isolated. Those who screamed too loud were silenced permanently. Deaths were marked as heart failure. Yet families were never notified. Sometimes bodies just disappeared. Journalist speaks. I wrote one article and they took 10 years from me. 10 years in Kaliti. I saw people eat cockroaches to survive. I saw men go blind from the darkness. But the world doesn't want to hear what goes on inside Kaliti, and that's exactly how they like it. If there's one prison that's equal parts horror and myth, it's Kamiti. The stories that come out of here, most people think they're legends, but they're not. Kamiti is home to death row inmates, war criminals, serial killers, and victims of a broken system. Warden speaks. Every morning we'd find at least one dead body, either beaten, strangled, or hanged. Sometimes it was suicide. Other times, it was just the food. Food poisoning is common. So is mental collapse. Kamiti has no psychological support system. So when men break, they really break. Ex-inmate speaks. I heard voices. Every day. I think it was the walls. Or maybe the ones who died here. Either way, I wasn't alone. Some prisoners turn to black magic, others to religion, but almost all of them feel haunted by the ones who didn't make it. In Kamiti, the line between life and death is blurred. The only thing sharper is the knife hidden in someone's mattress. In these prisons, justice is not blind. It's missing. Lives are lost long before sentences are served, forgotten by the system, buried in concrete and silence. But if you've watched this far, you're one of the few who chose to see what the world tries to ignore. And now the question is yours to answer. What will you do with what you now know? If this story moved you, like, share and subscribe for more truth that the world doesn't want you to hear. This is not just a documentary. This is a wake-up call.